Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to the live stream. It is Sunday, my favorite day of the week. As we settle in, we're going to talk a little bit about tomorrow. Oh boy, tomorrow. It's gonna be an interesting day. So we were talking on Friday, if you guys remember. We were talking a little bit about what we needed to see this weekend if we wanted a green day tomorrow. We needed to see no escalations in the war. Nothing big happening on the war front. Donald Trump staying away from Truth Social. Well, yeah, we didn't quite get that. So Donald Trump on Saturday, he posted an escalation. Basically, he told Iran that if they don't have the Strait of Hormuz open by Monday, so he basically said, well, he said 48 hours, so that works out to Monday. He would start demolishing their power stations, and he was going to start with the biggest one first. So, yeah, that's quite the threat. And here's the thing. I don't think Iran is going to capitulate. I don't think they will. Like, Iran's already come back and they've said, if you hit any of our power stations, we will keep that strait closed indefinitely. That was kind of their response. So definitely an interesting day. Now we need to see, here's the thing, is it just a bluff? Is Donald Trump bluffing with this threat? I mean, he's got the military to do it, but would he actually do it? Because when you start taking out power stations, that's not really a military target. Sure, yeah, sure, it inconveniences the military as well. But that does impact a lot of people, a lot of civilians. And, you know, if you destroy a power station, it's not like they're going to be able to quickly get power back up pretty fast. Especially if you demolish it, as he said in his truth. You quite literally could see a civilian population heading towards the hottest part of the year without power, without air conditioning. That, to me, I think that's crossing the line. That's crossing the line. So I'm hoping it's a bluff. But whether it's a bluff or not, the thing that we need to discuss is, what is that going to do to the market? How are investors going to take that? Now, we will, by the end of the show, we will start to get some futures coming in. It'll give us a little bit of an indication, but I don't know. Back of my head, I'm hearing a word. I'm hearing a word. It's bloodbath. That's what I'm seeing tomorrow. I'm seeing a very red day. If even if, because here's the thing. We won't know if it's a bluff until the end of tomorrow. Probably we won't even know until Tuesday that it's a bluff. And he could always say, that's now on the table, and we're gonna strike when we want to. We're not gonna strike when the clock tells us that we have to. So it's kind of an interesting thing. How long, could it push the entire week into red? Yeah, it could. Will it? Who friggin' knows? At this point, who friggin' knows? I think, though, no matter what, I think the morning tomorrow, we're going to have some pretty deep. We might see a day where we get a lot of red in the morning, and it might people start to calm down a little bit, and then it will start to maybe taper back up towards the green in the afternoon. But I'm thinking we're going to see one of them roller coasters, down and then up. And we'll see. Now, how far will it go down? Well, how far it goes down determines whether tomorrow gets a nickname or not. Maybe tomorrow will be Black Monday or Bloody Monday or Holy Banana Bread Monday. I might be the only one who calls it Holy Banana Bread Monday, but it's a possibility. It's a possibility. Just something to keep in mind. So that's kind of where we're looking. Now, I actually, right now, I'm going to do it. Give me a second here. I'm going to start a poll. Just give me a second. I'm just going to pull over my YouTube to put it in front of the camera so it doesn't look like I'm just staring off into nowhere as I set up a poll here. Let's see here. What do we want to do? We want to start a poll. All right. All right. What do you expect for tomorrow? There we go. Very simple. All right. Let's see. Bloodbath. Slightly red. Yeah, well, I'm going to capitalize everything. Why not? Slightly red. Another option could be slightly green. And, oh, nobody's going to choose this one. But we'll go with, we'll go with a recovery. Oh, boy. All right. All right, I'm just gonna, let's start it, bang, boom. We'll let it go for a little bit. We'll see. We're gonna see what we get tomorrow. Holy banana bread. All right, just give me a second. I'm just fixing my screen a little. Oops, I really messed up the screen. I was like, I did this so I didn't have to look over on the side. And here I am now being forced to look over on the side because I just really screwed everything up. All right, there we go. There we go. Everything is back to normal. Perfect. You know what, guys? I've spoken enough. Let's actually hit the comments. And we're going to start. Oh, the world is feeling normal again. We got Jonathan in first with an "Am I late?" I like that. I like that. That's the best way to start a stream. So am I late for an ultimatum or an escalation? You are certainly not late for the ultimatum or the escalation, or both, if that's what we end up with. Lance is in the house. Good afternoon, all. I'm bringing chips for all the dips coming this week and next. Nice. And Lance, of course, now I always have to ask, are you at the gym? I'm just... Ever since you watched the show one day from the gym, it's like, Lance is at the gym. I'm always thinking, Lance Gym. Bismarcky in the house with a happy Sunday all. JJ, Jonathan says, okay, Lance, that was the best line. I know. Yeah, you can never have too many chips. And lately there's been more than enough dip, that's for sure. Lance, if we're going to be on this roller coaster, we might as well have snacks. I hear ya. I hear ya. All right, and Mary is in the house. Mary, of course, guys, is our official captain of the like button. That's why we see those thumbs there. So, guys, let's hit that like button. Let's do it now. I normally, at this point, check to see what our opening number is. But you know what? I don't want to see a low number. I don't want to see a low number, so I'm not looking. I'm not looking. What I will do is I will still have my coffee, and we'll look in a little bit. But that way there gives you guys a chance to get that button action going, because it really does help the channel quite a bit. All right, give me 1 second here to have a sip of coffee. Oh gosh, that is so good. Samantha is in the house. Hello, everyone. Will we see another red week this week? Yes, I think we will. I'm thinking so. All right. Paul says, good afternoon. And Tom says Tesla is up in after hours trading. But the question will be, will they be up in early morning trading? And will they be up in real trading? Well, I guess it's, technically it is real trading, the morning trading, but, let's see what happens on tomorrow. Well, I was going to say on Monday. It's like, yeah, that's tomorrow. All right. Cindy is in with a good afternoon. And hey, Cindy, I saw you on, actually, it was Better Call Paul. So I guessed it on Better Call Paul's show the other day. It was a good conversation. I did throw it up over there on the Discord, guys. If you want to check that out, throw a little support Paul's way. Paul started quite literally as a viewer over here. So, he's doing well. He's doing well for sure. Definitely was a great conversation. And I'm going to get Paul over on this channel sooner than later. I also want to get Gary Gill, so there we go. Paul says it went up in after hours on Friday. Yes, absolutely. Lance, S&P 500 below 6,200 this week, and TSX at or below 30,000. Ooh, we got some predictions. We got some predictions. Holy banana bread. Ah, boy. Let's. It could happen though. And that's the thing. I think it's all going to depend on what happens tomorrow. Oh, we got Niece in the house with a good evening. Hello, Niece. How are you? Roku. Good afternoon, all. Are we ready to see some green tomorrow? I am not anticipating green. I'm not anticipating green. Rory, afternoon. Bitcoin down to 68,000, not 60. Oh my God, if it was down to 6,800, I think I'd just crawl under the desk and say, oh no. Yeah, I'm hoping to see a little bit of recovery. I'd like to see, I know we're in for a rough day tomorrow, but gosh darn it, I would sure love to see Bitcoin buck that trend. I really would. And not just because I have a swing trade on MSTE active, but let's see what happens. Sky says, a good afternoon, all. Awesome. And we've got Ian in here. I got a feeling we got at least 3 more weeks till the bottom, but I have nothing to base this on. Concepts of a theory. It's like concepts of a plan. Well, you know what? All plans start off with a concept of a plan or a concept of a theory. So I love it. Oh, Kelly says, let's see, the news has me getting my dehydrator and pressure canner out, comfort prepping. Yeah, I hear you. Oh boy. Rory, we can't do it, Captain. We don't have the power. Oh no. It was like I half tried to do an accent because I kind of was on the fly. It didn't work, but nonetheless. And I don't think I can do a Scottish accent very well, to be honest. Luke says, Candace, what do the charts tell you? Does the S&P and NASDAQ have support at these levels? I'll tell you right now, I will put no amount of faith in any support levels tomorrow. And I'll tell you why. Because, this is a black swan. Black swan events, they just ignore. They ignore supports. They ignore resistances. They're going to do whatever they want. So I think if it falls tomorrow, it's not going to matter. Now, where it might matter, and this is the bad part, is obviously if you plunge through a support, it could flip it into a resistance. So you could have a little bit harder trouble getting back up. But then again, look at something like Liberation Day. We had a very, very deep fall and we had no problems getting back up. And that might be the case as well, because sometimes it's kind of it's almost more of a superficial. It's more of like, it's not like that there's anything fundamentally wrong with the companies or with the market. It's just that there's a big giant fear spike pushing us down. So I will say I'm not concerned. That's my stance on that. Not concerned at all. Anise says he bit off more than he could chew, and we all suffer from it. Yes. I'm looking forward. Like, I know people, you know what, a year and a bit ago, people were saying it's only 4 years and then we don't have to deal with him anymore. And I don't even care, like, quite literally, I mean, yeah, he said a lot of dumb things in his first term, but that entire term pales to where we're at right now. And you can make arguments. You can make arguments to, I don't know. It's like I don't like a lot of what's happened. Obviously, I don't like the 51st state. I don't like the tariffs, especially some of the sectorial ones, like the auto tariffs. They annoy me a lot. They really do. I don't like the war. I think I think there's other ways to do things, but maybe when all is said and done, maybe one day we'll all be sitting back and saying, he was right. Maybe. I don't think that's going to happen, but I can never rule anything out. So yeah, oh God. Let's move on. Brian says, good afternoon, everyone. Roy's thinking minus 1100 at the open. That's a big drop. Yeah, it's hard to say. You know what? Yeah. I'm waiting. You know what I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for us to see what the oil prices are, because right now everything is frozen over on the thing here. Let me just get you off of the YouTube, and we will jump on over. So when we last looked, and this is frozen, this is where it froze on Friday. So they have not. You can see that little gray next to them. That just shows me that we're not getting any live prices right now. So last we looked, Brent was at 112. Where is Brent going to be when we come up? Now, I will say this. They've appeared to stop attacking oil infrastructure since Trump had said, let's not do that. So far, that's holding up. So that might help keep Brent down a little bit. But I think I think the red that we're going to see tomorrow, it's not going to be so much because of the price of oil. That'll still be a component, of course, but I think it'll be more or less fear over what the heck is about to happen. So we'll see. Oh, and Larry's in the house. Let's see. Physical crude oil in Kuwait is 150 now. High was 165 Friday. Northern Europe 118. So yeah, and like I said, right now my thing is frozen at 112. So it might be up around 118. We'll find out by the end of the stream. Well, actually, if I remember correctly, last week we started to get WTI information before we got, but WTI sitting at 97. If that goes flying up, we know Brent is going up too. Larry's calling it an orange Monday. Now there we go. And here's the thing: orange is one of my favorite colors. Like not like the bright orange. If you look at the orange, like that darker orange, like on a Halloween balloon or something. That's one of my favorites. That and green. Hence the reason you see both of those in the channel. Let's see. No way he does it. Iran will hit desalination plants, causing a regional evacuation. And this is the thing. I think he's bluffing. Like, I do. But, the problem is we won't, the investors aren't going to know unless, at least let's just say typical investors are not going to know that he's bluffing. Those of us who are smart, you and me, Larry, we both figure he's bluffing, and probably a lot of you guys as well, because you guys are not spring chickens. So I think he's bluffing, but I think a lot of investors will still be nervous, and that nervousness, I think, is what's going to cause that red tomorrow. Brian says, I don't see Armageddon. I hope not. Rory, nightmare fuel. All right. Lance says, I think the bloodbath is going to be drawn out. Not all in one short time frame, but drawn out. Okay, fair enough. I prefer it that way, to be honest. But, well, maybe not. Maybe not. I'm ready to deploy. I'll deploy some money tomorrow if it goes really deep. Roy says, can't buy anything again until Wednesday anyway. Lots of opportunity to wait for lower dips. Lance says, no, I'm at work, but leaving soon. Okay. Are you leaving to go to the gym, though? Or did you already get into the gym? I'm talking way too much about your gym. Conway. Ian. Now when I watch the stream, I crave popcorn. Yes. Well, you know what? Ian? So the other day, before the stream even started, they were all talking about popcorn. And what type of toppings they would put on the popcorn. So at the end of that stream, quite literally, I ignored the craving, and I, went down. I had supper. Then, we finished up. I went up to do some stuff up here, and by 9 o'clock, and normally I go to bed about, I normally start getting ready for bed around 10-ish and play with the cats. And by the time I'm in bed, it's about 11. But at 9, I was just like, the craving's too much. Now, how the heck am I going to have popcorn? So I basically yelled down to Jill, hey, want to watch a movie? So I ended up giving in. Morley says, good afternoon, everyone. Paul saying the repeat of April 2025. So that was Liberation Day. I don't think it's going to go that deep. I don't, but you know what? I could be very wrong. It's hard. I will tell you this, guys, and you guys probably can tell. It's very hard to predict how this is going to go down. It's very, very, very hard. So I don't think we're going to see a repeat of 2025. Oh, guys, we got a super sticker in the house from Samantha. And looks like the Goat Squad is representing today because that is our evil Monopoly Goat. Hello, Monopoly Goat. I fairly bought Park Place. I didn't cheat. All right, now let's get on back over here. And all right, now, here's the thing. Where was I? But anyway, thank you very much, Samantha, for that super sticker. I appreciate it. All right, and in fact, the next person on the list is Samantha. Yes, I think we may see a red spring. It's beginning to look that way. It's beginning to look a lot like Redmas. Lance says, I think it will be much worse than April 2025, but I think the recovery will be faster too. Well, 2025 did recover pretty fast, so we'll see. We'll see. I mean, that's the thing. Here's the thing. In an event like this, any one of us could be right. Lance could have nailed this 100%. I could have nailed it 100%. Tom could have just come along trying to bring in a little bit of hope. That's what I'm saying. All right. Paul, we'll know in about 3 hours, 49 minutes how the markets will be. I probably won't still be on the air in 3 minutes, or sorry, 3 hours and 49 minutes. I should hopefully still be on the air in 3 minutes. Xenial. Let's see, I sold a few things on Friday, so I at least have dry powder this week. Month, year. Do you think going 100% cash is too risky, or will there be unlimited buying opportunities indefinitely? There's always going to be buying opportunities. And, I can't say that it's too risky to go 100% cash. I'm not doing it, but I know some people that are. I've heard some people. There's been a few people in chat that said they're sitting at close to 100% cash. So I think there will be opportunities to deploy. But the problem with going 100% cash, and this is why I don't do it, is that we don't know when this is going to end. We don't know when the market is going to sort of flip on the fear and sort of say, oh yeah, that's now background noise. We're okay with it. And basically, once it's all completely priced into the market. When that happens, that may be where the bottom is. And if you're sitting there with 100% cash and you're waiting and it starts going up, usually you don't even react when it starts going up. You're like, oh yeah, I'm not worried. Wait till the end of the week. Wait till you see that one. And you get to the end of the week and all of a sudden you're like, uh-oh, this is starting to look like it is going up. So you got to be a little bit careful with that. I tend to be more or less, I'll buy the dip. I will, and it also depends on what your goals are, right? If you're an income investor, why are you going to sell your stuff that's still giving you half decent dividends, right? If anything, that might be the time to sort of get in because you're getting in at a higher yield because of the prices being down. So you have to look at your strategy. You have to see if it makes sense. You have to look at your risk profile. In the end, it always comes down to the decision that you make, and you want to make sure that if it goes the opposite way, that you're okay with it. Because I always look at it this way. I like to know what's the worst case scenario if I do this. If it's really bad, then I probably am not going to do it. But that's, that's my conservative investing style. I tend to, I tend to keep my risk at least contained the best I can. Sometimes I take some bigger risks, some bigger swings, but, I like to try to limit those. All right, LenTube says, do you think we will see oil up or down tomorrow? I'm thinking it will be way up. Bought more shares of ENCC. Yeah, I think there's a good chance it could go up. There's absolutely. I mean, this whole escalation that we're seeing right now, this whole ultimatum, it's all about the Strait of Hurmuz. And Iran has basically said, we're going to keep it closed indefinitely if you attack any of our power plants. Now, I still don't think Trump's going to do it, but oh gosh, what if it's not his decision? You know what I mean? Like, what if he sort of like, says, all right, tells this Department of War, do what you want. I don't know if Pete Hegseth seems to me like a person who probably would do it. I'm just saying, it's one of those things. I don't know if he has the restraint that Trump has, and Trump doesn't have a lot of restraint. But Trump does have, he does have that thing. Like there are things he cares about. He cares about the market. He cares about the price of oil, and I think I think he would understand if he went through with his threat, with his bluff, which I'm hoping it's a bluff. I think he would be able to sort of sit back and say, "Ooh, gosh, this is gonna hurt the market big time. I don't want that to happen. This is gonna this is gonna rise oil big time. I don't want that to happen." So I'm kind of hoping, because he has made some interesting compromises. Just that they go a long way to show how much he cares about the price of oil. So, for example, some of the sanctions on Iran are kind of being eased off. So any ships, so if Iran has any ships that are out at the ocean right now, oil ships, he is letting Iran sell those off. Like, he's letting them finish those deals, just to get a little bit more market oil into the market, to try to help ease that price a little bit. So, we know that's a priority. So, and that's the thing. You have to sort of look at like this and say, will this help his priorities? It really doesn't. That's why I think it's a bluff. I'm pretty sure it's a bluff. All right. Brian says, my daughter, who is new to investing, is seeing hers and Wealthsimple's managed portfolios all going into the red. I told her not to worry because she buying solid broad index funds, mostly buy the dip and DCA. Yeah, that's exactly what your daughter should do. Yeah, if you're a long-term investor, and you are you're setting up your index funds. Maybe you've got XEQT, maybe you got VFV, or but anyway, there's a whole bunch of them. I'm not going to read them all off, but yeah, while they're down, if anything, these are the times you want to sort of say, oh, you know what? While they're deep in the red, I think I'm going to invest a little more this month, because these are the months where, yeah, I would throw a little more into the market, because I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity. And on the other side of this, you'll be happy that you did so, because those are the parts, those investments. So, for example, if you invested, let's say you invested $100 back at the end of February. All right, well, you paid pretty high prices. If you invested $100 in this mess that we're in now, you could actually get more than what you got for the $100 there. So on the other side of all of this, that more that you got because of this mess, it's going to be more valuable. It's going to be worth more on the other side of this than the $100 that you bought before it began. All right. Prairie says, good afternoon, community. Happy Sunday to all. Hey, Prairie, how are you doing? How is it out on the prairies right now? Like, it's still cold this side of the country. Quite literally, we had snow overnight, and they're still putting salt on it. Like the people who run this complex, they're still putting salt on the walkways, and I'm like, seriously, we're officially in spring. It's time for the snow to stop. All right, Lisa is in the house with a hi, everyone. Paul says, how many cover call ETFs will be reporting lower distributions at the end of the month? That's a great question. I don't think any. I won't say any, maybe one or two. But I think the majority of them, if they are ones that have like a steady. Now, there are some that do have variable covered calls, and it's just based on how much obviously that fund made. So you might see a little bit of movement in some of the more variable ones, but those who have steady, I think they won't. I think they're going to sit back and wait and see what happens. Is this going to be a longer term trend, or is this going to be kind of a short-lived? Because, when we have short-lived ones that come along, obviously you can't be cutting dividends all the time. That doesn't make a lot of sense, because, volatility, and also you got to keep in mind, Volatility is good for writing cover calls. You can demand higher premiums when there's a lot of volatility. So there's that double-edged side of the sword. So I don't think we're going to see it. And interestingly enough, when you look at tech-based ETFs, the NASDAQ hasn't actually fallen as badly as like the S&P 500 or the TSX. So, I don't think you're going to see a lot. I honestly don't think you're going to see a lot. Now, you guys can certainly correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that it should be pretty stable, I think, at least on the dividend side. All right, let's see here. Peter says, Thursday was red, Friday deep red, calling Monday red for last Monday was a green day. Yeah, last Monday was a green day. And like I said, even if before the market were to open, if Trump were to do another truth and just saying, all right, well, we're not going to hit your power plants, if he were to just, but then again, it's, that's another problem. He doesn't like to make it sound like he was wrong. But if he could somehow find a way to sort of dial that back a little bit, that could certainly change things. But right now I'm looking at red. How deep? Oh boy. Well, let's see what you guys are thinking right now. So I'm just going to pull up the thing here for a second. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Nope, that's not it. That's the thumbnail. There it is. All right, let me take a look here at the poll. Hello, poll. All right. Right now, it's telling me, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, it's telling me 44% said bloodbath, and it's not giving me the other parts of the poll. What the heck? I'll look on the test box. I don't know why it's not giving. All right, so right now it says 43% of you believe it's going to be a bloodbath. 29% slightly red, 16% slightly green, 11% think we're going to get a recovery tomorrow. Holy banana bread. That could be interesting. That could be interesting. Oh, I'm getting out of that deep hole. I hate that hole. It's like yikes. I don't even know what, well, I guess, yeah, it's just feedback, I guess, but still, we'll see. We're going to see what happens. All right. I can actually, all right, I'll end the poll a little later. Rory says cover calls should reduce a tad, in my opinion. I don't know if they will yet. I'm not saying they won't. I'm just saying yet. All right. Angelo wants to know, how many bad days do we need? The markets have been hammered the last several months. Yes and no. Yes and no, actually. I mean, the TSX is at all-time highs. They were at all-time highs at the end of February, so they weren't getting that hammer. Tech was, though. Tech, and technology sector was getting hammered. Actually, and this is what's kind of the nice thing for tech. So all of the stuff with AI, worried about what AI is going to do, how it's going to take jobs, and then there was also the whole private credit thing, all of that coming together. That was hammering tech pretty badly. For pretty much, it started in January and persisted through February. Now nobody's thinking about that anymore. Yeah, there's still the private credit, and there's still an issue with private credit, but nobody's really looking at AI at the moment. And that is one of the reasons that the NASDAQ has had, even though the NASDAQ's been falling, it's been falling and recovering at the same time. So it ends up having the effect of it not falling as far. It's still falling, though. Obviously, the falling is bigger than the recovery. But, it has certainly been helping a little bit. But yeah, no, the markets have been actually pretty good up into February. Like, we're still quite a ways away from being in bear market territory. But if we keep doing this day after day after day, we'll get there. We will absolutely get there. All right, Brian says, I am down 6.5% since my all-time high near the end of January. Focus forward and ignore the noise. All right. Rory says the Fair Greed Index is up 2 points from 13 to 15. Yeah, let's take a look. Oh, I'm already there. All right. So the fear index, if you guys ever want to look at it, you can find it over on Blossom. So let's just go here, markets, and there it is right there. So currently, yeah, it's sitting currently at 14.59. So we're still in extreme fear. We're still in extreme fear. But yeah, so over here on Blossom. And guys, I have not mentioned it yet today, but we have a little contest going on over at Blossom, and it's a contest for the ambassadors. It's basically our own version of March Madness. I believe they're calling it the Ambassador Games. Let me just pull this up here. This here is my division. So my division, basically they put us in districts with different sized, because obviously somebody like Brandon Beavis obviously can pull in a lot more people checking out Blossom than I can, because he's got a much bigger audience. So they put similar audience sizes into our district. So currently I'm in District 1, and this is me, Blue Whale. I'm sitting here. I got, since March and me talking about it, 9 of you have come over to check out Blossom. I need more. I want to move at least into 3rd place, guys. At least get me into 3rd. So I'm going to let me drop my link in here in the chat. I'm just dropping that in. So guys, use that link. Go over to Blossom. Sign up. I'll show you what Blossom is here in a second. It is a social media app. So it's basically a social media app for us, for investors. It doesn't have any of the outside fluff, and it's there's a lot of great conversations that happen over here. So this is the one. So this is their market information. But normally when you go to the home page, you got to feed in here, and just, it's like anything else, any other social media. You guys have been around the block. You guys know what social media is. But here's the fun part. Once you get over here, if you send me a follow as well, I ask you to do that because I don't normally read the main feed. I normally read this. These are all of my notifications. So anybody I'm following, if you make a post, it comes in here. So if you follow me, I follow you. That means I can find your posts a little bit easier. Apparently Dave really likes Dave. Look at this, Dave. What's going on, Dave? But yeah, so I just tend to zoom down through here and see what I can find. And yeah, if you guys are in here, I'll jump over and I'll make some comments. But if you really, really want me to see something that you put on Blossom, just tag me. All you got to do is, if you do right here, like @Mountain Finance, then bang, it shows up on my mention page, and then you're guaranteed that I'll come by and say hi. So I like to do that. So anyway, that's Blossom. Blossom is pretty darn cool. Just check it out. Use that link, and that would be awesome, because I really, like I said, I really want to move into 3rd place, and quite literally, if 3 of you, I would securely have 3rd place if 3 of you who are not yet on Blossom were to jump on over. Now, if you're already on Blossom and you don't follow me, guys, please follow me so I can follow you back, because we can have a conversation there. Oh, and feel free, guys, if you want, you can direct message me over there. I don't mind. I may not get to it right away. Life has become so busy. All right, Samantha is up next. Let's see. I've been watching Predictive History with Professor Jang. I'm not sure what to think. He uses post-geopolitical events to predict future scenarios. Very interesting. I've been watching a whole bunch of different sort of, kind of the whole geopolitical aspect. And some of them are absolutely like, we're in World War III already. We just haven't named it. And then there's others saying that, oh, this will just resolve itself. So it really depends on who you're watching. And and this is the thing with YouTube as well, because I always will talk about with the American YouTubers, you want to be a little careful. Like, you can go from one channel, you'll have somebody whose thumbnail is basically saying World War III, the markets are doomed, to the next person telling you, oh no, this is great, the markets are great, you're gonna absolutely make $1 million, just put your money into, whatever stock. There's so much back and forth. Like, you can quite literally, and this is actually really bad if you in the Bitcoin ecosystem, you can go from one video to the next feeling like you want to mortgage your house to buy Bitcoin, and then the next one you want to sell every Bitcoin you have and crawl into a hole. quite literally, you got to be really careful, I think, in this ecosystem with your emotions. You really want to just keep them in check. If somebody is telling you something that seems a little bit too good to be true, it probably is. If they're telling you something that sounds a little bit too bad to be true, it probably is. Will either of those situations be correct from time to time? Of course. Even a broken clock is right twice a day, right? So it does happen, but you always want to use a certain level of reasoning. You want to be careful because I hear different things constantly, and you know what? Here, the reality is, there's not a single person on YouTube or on BNN or on Newsweek who has a clue what's going to happen in the future. They have ideas of what's going to happen, but they don't know. Nobody knows because it hasn't happened yet. You could have like 99.999% chance that you know what's going to happen tomorrow. Like I could say, the sun's coming up tomorrow. Well, there's about a 99.99999999999% chance that that's going to happen. But it's not 100, I mean, obviously some really, really bad stuff would have to happen for the sun not to come up. And then you also have to define, what does the sun not coming up mean? Does it mean that the sun's gone? Because that's kind of impossible. Or does it mean that we had a volcanic eruption and there's just a whole bunch of soot in the air, so we can't see the sun? Both of those could technically be right. So you always want to just, like I said, just use reasoning. And the reality is, most times if something seems highly unlikely, it probably is. Or if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. All right, Joe, let's get over here to Joe. Some say a bull market later half this year. Example, Tom Nash, Tom Lee, Professor G, AI. What is your opinion or speculation? And yeah, exactly, opinion or speculation. Just going back to what I was just saying. Yes and no. Like I don't know if it'll be a strong bull market. Like we're still technically in the bull market, right? What we're having right now is more of a, it's more of a little bit of a bear trend within a bull market. And it really is going to boil down to, Joe, how quickly this can get resolved, or become background noise. I think if it becomes background noise, sort of like Russia-Ukraine is now background noise, then the market could certainly recover and we could certainly move back up. But you also have to realize that this is the other problem too, is that this is costing billions of dollars every day for the US. So it's not, it's not good for the economy any way, shape, or form. And you can't keep on hitting the economy forever without something breaking at some point. So, we're hammering away at that economy daily. Something is going to break. Will it be a recession? It might be. And if that happens, the chances are we'll probably see a bear market instead of a bull market. But I'm hoping that bear market doesn't come until 2027. I'm hoping. But, oh boy, if this persists, if this goes on too much longer, it could very well happen this year. So I'm and I'm normally the optimist, Joe. I am normally the optimist. But yeah, if we have any kind of movement, like a sustained movement back in the bullish pattern, yeah, second half of the year is when I would see it. I just don't think it will be that strong because we gotta start paying the piper for all the damage that's been done. Everything from tariffs to war to the war. There's just a lot. There's a lot there, and if you just look at people, people are struggling. A lot of people are struggling. And when people struggle, that ends up kind of creating a bit of a feedback loop. Because if you can't afford, to buy things, well, all of those businesses that make things, well, that's cutting into their bottom line. And that can push its way and it can propagate through everything. And we might see some of that happen this year, but it's hard to say. It's hard to say. If we can get out of this soon enough, I think we can push this off a little bit further. and and resume the bull market that we are still technically in. All right. Angelo, I wonder if the next president is going to reverse what Trump did. He had been consistently sabotaging the economy and relationships nonstop since elected. The next president, no matter who it is, whether it be Republican or Democrat, though at this point it's probably going to be a Democrat. In fact, I'll call it right now. You know who's probably going to win? And some of you, I know you don't like him. Gavin Newsom. I think he's kind of setting himself up to win the next presidency. And I think the first priority of the next president is going to be repairing relationships. And I think that's the thing. Like, Trump has kind of alienated the United States. Like, we don't need you. We don't need any of you. We don't need Canada. We don't need Europe. We don't need your help. And then he turns around and says, please send your help. But, and then they say no. It's like, what? But yeah, I think that's going to be the first goal, is obviously undoing that part. And I think that's definitely an important thing, is to try to get, that new relationship developed, because there's going to be damage there. There's still going to be resentment. But on the bright side of that, and this is where I think this is going to be an interesting thing, because we all know Trump, and that a lot of what Trump does is Trump's personality. I think countries will be probably very quick to forgive the United States on the other side of his presidency. So, so yeah, I think it'll actually be very interesting. I think we could, I think that'll happen. And yeah, of course, there will be executive orders to undo some of the things that he has done. I think the tariffs will probably drop away, depending on who. If the Republicans come in, it might take a little bit longer. But even if the Republicans get back in, I think you're going to see tariffs. I think they're going to, either get just scaled back. I think the sectorial tariffs will start to, I think those will definitely get looked at. So yeah, it'll be very interesting. I mean, we obviously have to wait another, 3 years almost? Not quite 3 years now. It's like, 2 years and, many months. Rory, if Brent goes to 125, we're all doomed. Gosh. And you know what? That's a possibility, Rory. I hate to say. Oh, I was about to drink. Let me hit the mute button. Oh, that's so good. I think that is a possibility. Okay, guys. I said that when Mary popped up, I wasn't going to look at the likes. I'm going to do it right now, though. I'm kind of curious. So, like I said, I didn't want to see a small number. So, I'm just refreshing the test box so I can see where we are at. Oh, 54. Okay. This is great. This is great. We're slowly climbing up. But you know what? I normally shut up if we get to 70. But today, I'm going to shut up at 75. So let's just slam that like button to death. Do whatever it takes. Break your mouse if you have to. No, don't break your mouse. Don't break your mouse. It's just a click. It's just a click. All right, Martin, we'll be looking at futures on crude tonight. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. We'll have my eyeballs on it. Larry says Trump's a liar and stupid is the problem. Yeah, Trump, yeah, but here's the thing. Trump is a liar, but a lot of politicians are. He just doesn't care. It's like he'll lie, and because he knows that a lot of the MAGA base will they'll just sort of adapt. And the funny thing is, Trump is one of these unique people that can tell a lie and try to keep changing things until the world aligns with the lie. But in some cases, it's not working. All right, Paul, meme. If the earth was flat, cats would have pushed everything off of it by now. Truth. That is the truth. Martin says Michael Burry predicts 77% drawdown. Oh, we know we're safe. We know we're safe. Michael Burry, oh boy. He made one big prediction, of course. He predicted the financial the financial market, the big housing crisis back in 2008. There's a movie about it. It's actually a good movie. But since then, all of his big predictions have pretty much petered out and been wrong. So keep that in mind. When you hear something like Michael Burry predicting 77% drawdown, how many times has he been right lately? Not a lot. Not a lot. So I take everything Michael Burry says with a huge grain of salt. And maybe 2 grains of salt. Bismarcky, now I want white cheddar. Ooh, white cheddar popcorn. That's good. Oh, was there popcorn on that super sticker? Ah, I can't believe I missed it. Okay. That is hilarious. Now, you see, because I was so far behind, I did not know. How far behind am I, by the way, guys? Let me see here. Oh, let's go back to Samantha for a second. 4:22. All right, I'm 30 minutes behind. All right, I'm going to try to get caught up, guys. So guys, as these streams keep getting busier and busier, if you have something you absolutely need me to comment on, put a QQQ or even a question mark, either one in front of it. That way there, when I get to it, I'll make sure I don't skip it, because if I have to skip over stuff, or if you have something you need me to answer immediately, we got the super chats. That's what that is for. And if you are a channel member, remember, you get that one free super chat every month. You just have to go in. You go in as though you're doing a regular super chat, and there is the channel member one as well. And those count as well. All right, Brian says, if the war abruptly gets settled, then a lot of the cover call ETFs lose out on a massively quick market pop. Yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to, yeah. I mean, I think, yeah, I mean, obviously, one of the big things is if the war gets settled a lot, then you know pretty much every single strike price is being hit as things all of a sudden rebound. So it could be very interesting. It could be. Martin says, cash is trash. There we go. Rory, I'm targeting non-cover call ETFs during this tussle. Bought a bit of XEQT already. Yeah, not bad. I mean, I love XEQT. It is probably the best, one of the best. Like, you've got XEQT, there's ZEQT, there's VEQT, there's FEQT, there's HEQT. There's a lot of them. All right. Oh, cash is trash again. But Berkshire is holding a record $330 billion in cash. Well, keep in mind, and we were mentioning this the other day, that was that data comes out of February. So, I'm curious to know if they've made any buys this month so far. Gary, hey Gary, good to see you. Everybody give likes. Yeah, absolutely. Just slam the good old like button, of course. Rory saying canoe at 14 would be nice. Oh, Rory, you've already got a great deal. Rory's you're that guy that just keeps on haggling for more and more. You would make a great comic book guy. Niece says, I am still on green in BK, NPS, and Div, but some other got hit big time, especially my Swedish REIT that pays monthly. Oh, yikes, yeah. Yeah, I love, I like NPS, of course, and BK. Those are both split cores. So yeah, they've both been really good. I like them both. Let's see, Larry, I'm not even gonna look at it tomorrow. Gonna play new Skyrim viral video game, Crimson Desert. Fun. I won't be playing video games tomorrow. I gotta film a video, I gotta edit it, I gotta live stream, all that fun stuff. Rory says, BK, Burger King every time to me. Yeah, the first few times I ever saw BK, I thought of Burger King right away. And I actually like Burger King's burgers better than McDonald's, but I know a lot of people are like, no, McDonald's is better, but I don't know. I like the Burger King ones. Prairie, spring has sprung in Winterpeg. The geese have arrived. My sign spring is officially here. Nice. BK is Canadian Bancorp, but get the Burger King reference. Absolutely. I'm sure they got Burger King in Sweden. I mean, aren't they everywhere? I think they are. 9. Oh boy. I don't know what the temperature is here today. I have not looked. Oh boy. Should we look? Yeah, we should. You guys know, if there's a chance to check the weather, I'm gonna, oh, it's 0. So there we go. It is 0 here in Ottawa, but we got a wind chill, a -5. Now, is there any snow in the forecast? Oh, we still got snow in the forecast. 5 centimeters on Thursday. Holy banana bread. Aurori says 1 degree Celsius here. Some snow coming Tuesday night. Snow, go away. Paul, QQQ. This is what I'm talking about. Let's see, down 5.5% last 3 months, and the S&P 500 down 4.17% last 3 months. So only lost potential profits. Okay, all right. Let's see. Trump has had no choice now. He is in a hole and is too egotistical to back down. Well, that's the thing. This is, this is where the government should be stepping in and just trying to give him a way out of the hole. Give him a way out of the hole. Yeah. Prairie says portfolio was at all-time high at the end of February, currently at mid-January levels. Okay. Let's see. No gym tonight. I just showered, so now I'm watching at 2x speed to catch up. I feel like I'm trying to chat at 2x speed to catch up. No, not really. I'm just... Ian says, man, I got to buy groceries today. I had popcorn with hot sauce and a coffee for lunch. Fridge is empty. Still got beer, though. There you go. Let's see. So Nee says, now when Canada is getting closer to Europe, I really hope your company's found and will follow by getting the papers EU wants so I can invest in more stuff in Canada. Yeah. Yeah, no, I like the idea. I like the idea for sure. All right. Michael, more tiger. Yeah. And you have mentioned this before. Paul says the poles changed locations in the past and the former north could become tropical. Yeah. Here's the thing about the poles. A lot of times when the poles change, it's actually not the poles, if you know what I mean. I mean, yeah, there have been times when like Antarctica used to get a lot more sun. If you go back to Pangea, it was pretty tropical then. But also the magnetic poles. The magnetic poles move quite a bit. Like the magnetic North Pole used to be in up in North Canada. Now it's I think it's in Siberia right now. It's moved over towards Russia. Trump had. Let's see. The problem. All right. The problem is that affect the oil market. That oil goes up and that anything goes down. Well, yeah, when oil goes up, obviously it costs more for a lot of companies, especially if they rely on transportation of goods. Paul, Trump has to do something before midterms to bring the markets back and interest rates lower. Oh, good luck. He's not doing good so far. Ooh, Evan is in the house. Evad is in the house. A good afternoon, everyone. Hey, how are you doing? It's been a while. Kelly says Bird might head up on a Monday. It was headed up at close on Friday. Hopefully, and I love Bird construction. One of my favorites for sure. Paul, 5-year bond. Let's see, 5-year government bond yield is 3.229%. February 28th was 2.66%. 5-year fixed mortgages are going up soon as well. Yeah, and a lot of this is because of the inflation, the implied inflation that this oil is going to release to. Because we were talking a little bit about that on Friday's show, actually. Paul, stocks are teetering on the edge of correction territory. Why the taco trade could flop? The taco trade that fueled previous quick rebounds could be torpedoed by an escalating Iran conflict. Yeah. I mean, this Iran thing, I mean, it's going to be messier. Like, I've heard so many interesting things. One of the things I've heard is that they have... that Iran really hasn't even begun throwing what they have at the U.S. and Israel. But here's the thing: we have to figure that out. We have to. There's so much information and there's so much misinformation out there. It is hard to sort of sort which is which for sure. So yeah, Newsom has to win the nom. Yeah, he does. Absolutely. But there's the thing. But here, and Larry mentions that Larry doesn't like him, but who else is there? Like, what other big name do the Democrats have. Now, mind you, right now, he may be front runner at this point in time just because he's really the only one who is, standing up to Trump and kind of getting his name out there. But there's a lot of people like right now, like honestly, if the Democrats were to get somebody on board like a big name, one of the things I always said is that if they ever decided to get Oprah, if Oprah would ever run, she could win. She could win. Just so many people like her. Um, and that'd be fine. That'd be fine. I don't know what that kind of government would look like. But at the same time, now, and let me throw the devil's advocate at that. After this experience with Trump, could that almost be a hindrance from somebody who is, famous through, whatever it be, reality TV or television or movies? Could that make it harder for them? Because it might be, oh gosh, the last time we elected somebody from from that world, look what happened. It's hard to say. It's hard to say, and that's more of a question. I really don't know if that would be the case. All right. Let's see. Ian says, I want Mark Kelly to run for the Dems. I think the right will freak out for 4 years if Gavin wins and don't want to listen to it. Most everyone respects Mark. Okay, there we go. So there's another option. And we'll see. Well, I mean, obviously, we'll talk about it as it happens. Let's see. Rory says that Gavin can't handle California. All right. Rory, The Big Short was a good one. So yeah, that was the movie. That was that movie that I mentioned earlier with our buddy in it. Patrick says, hello. Can HHL be the trade of the next few months? What do you think? Well, let's pull up HHL. So this is the Harvest Healthcare Leaders. Let's see here. HHL. Here we go. Healthcare Leaders. Bang. Boom. All right. So yeah, let's take a look. Interesting. Yeah, they're down quite a bit. Look at that. They're down at what, 702? They've fallen from 766. So yeah, I still like, actually, if you watch I think Brandon Beavis did one. Him and his dad went over to Harvest, and a lot of people really in the Harvest, they really care a lot about that HHL. So they've got a lot of faith in it, and I think yeah, this could be a good one to come back. I don't know whether I would look at it as being as a swing trade, but I think if you want some exposure and you want a little bit of income, this is not a bad move right now. I think it's not a bad move at all. Ian says, tomorrow I will try to talk about healthy foods. All right, there's a question mark, question mark, question mark. Nothing else, but hey, all right. Hey, Patrick, how are you? Brian says, I missed your canoe comment until Candace read it, Rory. Oh, no. Got in just before it ends. Hey, all. We got lots of time left. Like, we're only at an hour. We're only at an hour. Lance, let's see. I think in terms of prediction, watch Berkshire Hathaway when they deploy dry powder. Something is about to happen. Yeah, I mean, they have a pretty, and keep in mind, Berkshire Hathaway's not perfect, but they have been watching the market for so long, and they've got more talent in their, in their team. There's more talent in their team than most, most investing houses have. So, I pay attention, that's for sure. Rory, tell you what, Brian, I would prefer canoe to rise, but when in Rome. All right. Safyan says, what's the best price to buy VFV if it could come to 150? VFV. Let's actually take a look at VFV for a moment. One of the things I love about VFV, guys, is when I want to reflect the S&P 500. I always use this one because you can see everything the market has done. Here, I'm going to come out to the 10-year. There we go. So you can see a little bear market, little bear market, pandemic. Look at the bull market after the pandemic. That's pretty cool. And then this was our last bear market right in here. And then we came up. We're in a strong bull market right now. And then we had Liberation Day, went back into it. And yeah, this is Iran. This is Iran right here. You can sort of see it. When, perhaps a year from now, when I pull this up, because somebody asks a similar question, we will be able to look at what Iran did. Will it do this? Will it turn into a bear market? Hard to say. Hard to say. We're heading in that direction, but will we get out of it before we get there? Like I said, nobody knows. But we'll pay attention. We'll watch. We'll watch it all. We'll experience it together, guys. We'll experience it together. Rory, amazing how Fox News keeps propping Trump no matter the idiocy he has caused. Yeah, okay. It's kind of true. Let's see, bad kitty on the road. Uh-oh. Well, hopefully it was a good cat. Hopefully the cat's fine. I was watching that bobcat it was a bobcat. I don't know where you guys are that you're watching. Or was it on Fox? I don't know. I don't know. We're in school. Candace is teaching, but we're looking out the window. Okay, fair enough. Does that mean I get a yardstick? Larry says, things are so bad, I'm embarrassed to wear my color reds for Trump hat. Yeah, I can understand that. Oh, boy. Don't worry, Larry. I'm ready to forgive America once we've gotten some new leadership down there. Brian says, the Great Wall of China doesn't look fun either. Not really. Locusts. Yikes. Crazy how Liberation Day was a bigger deal stock-wise than this war. Maybe it will catch up in a few weeks. Maybe. We'll see. But Liberation Day, I mean, we were kind of getting used to Trump's second term, if you think about it. So a lot of it is, that was all fear. Liberation Day was 100% a fear event. Now we're kind of getting to the point that we expect Trump to do stuff like that. So it doesn't impact us as much. But the war, yeah, you almost would expect, and we don't know where the bottom is. It might be that we go lower than Liberation Day, but we go at a, not as steep. So Liberation Day, it was pretty much down and then some recovery pretty fast. It might be that we're waiting for, we'll see. We'll see. Kelly says, do a Buttigieg, oh my God. This is one of those names that I know I'm mispronouncing. Buttigieg Cheney ticket, both sides of the aisle. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. And you know what? I'd be there for that. That would be so cool. Could you imagine having a mixed ticket with a Republican and a Democrat on the ticket, and sort of saying, hey, we're that option to try to reunite the House a little bit and try to close that division. It'll never happen, but gosh, that would be so good. Let's see. All right, I'm skipping over things like this when you're talking to somebody else. I got to skip over them because we're so far behind. Rory says, I just don't listen. Mary's going to hit me with the ruler. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, what are we at? I know I said I want to get to 75 so I can shut up about it. Let's take a look here. Hopefully I can shut up now. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, guys, we're at 71. 4 more of you hit that like button, and I never have to mention it again today. All right, let's see. Brian says, damn, the Discovery Channel is gone now that she is doing a stock dive. Let's see. A star after class and catch up. Do you think we could drop back to Liberation Day levels this year? Well, yes, I think it's possible. Will it happen? I don't know. If I did, gosh, if I knew everything was going to liberation levels, like let's say next week, I'd just sell everything and buy back in on liberation levels. No, I probably wouldn't. No, I've got a lot of things, even in the challenge, the 0 to 100K challenge, there's some pretty low places that I dropped in that even a liberation drop would still be in profit for some things. So yeah, I wouldn't actually do that. Patricia says, hi. I so remember VFE was under 110. I felt it was too expensive back then. I remember talking to you about that, Patricia, I think. I remember because I was saying, look how it keeps going. Yeah, I'm right now 158. So, and you know what? Yeah, somebody would ask me, could it get to 150? It is possible. If 150, if that's where you want to buy in, it kind of doesn't hurt to put a limit order in and see what happens. Just be prepared that it may not get there. That's always the danger of that. Rory, if Iranian power plants actually do go down, look out. If that happens, oh boy. That's what I'm going to say. Oh boy, that would not be good. I really think, I think I'll say, what certainty do I have that Trump is bluffing about this? I would say 85%. I would say 85% chance he's bluffing. Brian, you had the Weather Network up, Candace. Rory and I were watching the videos playing on their site. Bobcat attacking a car. Locust, Great Wall of China. It was fat. Oh, there we go. I was like, what are you guys doing? All right. Yes. They always have those silly little ads. All right. I got it. Len, Trump may say things you don't like sometimes, but he loves America and always defends it. Unlike Newsom, who has destroyed California and will destroy the U.S. as well. We see Newsom's incompetence. Well, like I said, I don't know a lot about Newsom. I will admit right up, I don't follow California politics very much. But I'm just saying right now, he seems to be the front runner. So, if there's a better person out there, hopefully he or she takes over. I mean, I'm okay with whoever, and I look at it this way. When it comes to American politics, I honestly don't care who wins as long as they don't mess up investing. That's kind of my rule, or the world. In this case here, I don't like, I would prefer somebody who's not going to start wars. I would prefer somebody who is going to treat Canada with respect. That's what I would like. Whether they're, and I don't even care, like if they're a Democrat, Republican, if they treat Canada fine, I have no problem. Like I had no problem with any other of the Republicans. George Bush, I was okay with him. Other than I didn't like the whole weapons of mass destruction thing, but what can I say? He still treated Canada with respect. Let's see. Azeniel, is it insane that some stocks like Microsoft are already back to Liberation Day levels? Do you think the impacted stocks have most of this priced in? I think things are getting priced in, but I don't think we're there entirely yet. So it's going to be interesting. Now, I heard something. I was watching a station the other day, and somebody told me that Elon Musk made a new company called Macro Hard, kind of making fun of Microsoft. Now, I don't know if that is actually legit, because I'm like, that's the only time I've ever heard that. So actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to Google Macro Hard. That would definitely be not safe for work. But, if you guys know anything about that company, drop it in the chat. Let me know. It could have been somebody. It could have been somebody just making a joke, and I didn't catch that it was a joke. But Ian says, if we go back to Liberation Day levels, I would go back to work just to buy more stocks. All right, fair enough. All right, Patricia says, IDCA and VFV and XEQT, ZDY and VDY and ZSP. They are in 3 different portfolios. Okay, cool. I like that group. I like all of those. Trump's in it for himself and his family. And let's see. Oh my God, I did catch up. Holy cow, I can't believe it. I was like, what's going on? All right, Escape from LA. Gavin is the mayor. Okay. Boy. Yeah, I don't know. I think I saw, that was like Kurt Russell, right? Escape from New York, and then I think Escape from LA was the sequel. I think I saw it. I think I saw it as a kid, but I don't remember it very well. So what can I say? All right, give me a second, guys. I'm going to have some coffee. That was really good. All right, and I'm going to quickly check these likes to see if if we made it. Oh, we did. We blew past. We got 80. I don't need to talk about likes anymore. Here we go. Micro Hard Systems specializes in the design and manufacture of long-range, robust wireless data equipment. Okay. Our continuous innovation and unparalleled product performance has earned us a trusted... All right, Brian looked it up. Okay. What is Elon Musk's role with that, Brian? I don't know if you know, but I'm just saying, what's going on there? Oh, and Kelly has it as well. Musk has unveiled MicroHard for Digital Optimus, a joint AI project between Tesla and xAI designed to autonomously emulate and replace entire software companies. It combines Grok's reasoning with Tesla's screen watching agents to control computers, aiming to replace white-collar jobs in coding and administrations. It is expected to arrive soon. Oh, there we go. That's probably why. Sounds like it's brand new. Because, yeah, like the whole xAI and Tesla, that is, of course, we've been talking about that over the last month and what was happening with that. So that's interesting. That is very interesting for sure. Lance says, I think the like might be at a new all-time high. Let's push for 90. No, there's the all-time high is, well, keep in mind, we have, of course, this after this is over. So when this is all said and done, this, a lot of people will be watching this. So I would say probably a quarter of the total views is you guys coming here to the show. The other 3/4 is people watching it later tonight, watching it tomorrow. Heck, even sometimes people watch it like 2 weeks later. I mean, I don't know. Would I watch a current event type? Well, I guess there's a lot of nidbits of stuff in here too that's not current events per se. All right. Rory says, could BlackBerry interest Elon Musk somehow? I would say yes. I would say that there is a chance. All right. Brian, Musk is macro hard, not micro hard. Oh boy. Sounds like a doom marine. All right. There we go. Yeah, so I guess it's macro. Yeah, macro. Yeah, not micro, obviously macro. But, it is a complete play off of Microsoft, so macro hard, yeah. I think, actually, I kind of appreciate the name a little bit. I kind of appreciate it because I think it's kind of fun. I think it's fun. Let's see, Lance says Bitcoin slipping a little. I'm still short-term bearish, and I think it's going to give way soon. No, let's take a look. Let's take a look. Oh, look, we just happen to be in here right now. Oh, we're on the 1 week. Let's get back to my 1 hour so that we can actually see. Holy banana bread. See what's going on here. All right, here we go. Oh, I was looking at it earlier and I was like, oh, this is not so bad. But now I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, where am I? A lot of my lines have, oh yeah, I haven't made a new line since here. Yeah. All right. I was like, where are these? Okay, let's take a look and see. So yeah, it looks like, and I thought I put something in there. It looks like it's actually breaking out, as in the wrong direction though. And here, let me just add a couple new lines here. All right, trend line. We're going to add one coming in here. Because, we could still, what? We may not be breaking out per se. Depends on where we put this line at. Let's just take a look here. See, so we could be on the verge of a breakout here because I would say, let's go from here. Yeah. Oh, well, you know what? You notice that it did start to push back. So we could be on the verge of a breakout, but we'll see. I think right now it's still in this channel here, which is great because if it is in this channel, there is, if it can hold, it may come down a little bit. That's fine. But if it can stay in this channel, there is the chance. And here, let me grab the brush. There is the chance that we could move back up here. And this could even be for tomorrow. We might be able to get back up to about 68. But nonetheless, it's still pretty low in my opinion. But yeah, I'm hoping, I'd like to see us break out of this channel, but to the upside. I don't like this. I do not like this channel at all. I want Bitcoin to stay up. All right. Rory, the adventures of the mighty Macro Hard and his AI misfits. I'd watch it. I would watch it. Why do I still care? Says, have to say, if Trump is sending ICE agents to the airports to help cover the TSA agents with them attacking Iran, I'm not feeling too safe to fly. Yeah. So yeah, that's another thing. He is asked to send ICE agents to make up, because a lot of there's airports in the U.S. right now that pretty much are, they're saying they might even have to close. So, and it's kind of scary, because if security is getting really lax at the airports, no, this would not be a good time if some bad guys wanted to get something on a plane. I'm just saying. I hope not. So, I would rather there be somebody there, but I will say this. So my sister's birthday was in March, and she was going to come up to my mom. She was going to fly up. She lives in Houston. She just ended up, she had to cancel it. There was just no way. The lineups were crazy, and I don't even know. I think her flight, I don't know if her flight was canceled, but it was just like, yeah, she was just like, had to cancel the whole trip for her birthday. And my mom was disappointed, of course, but it happens. It happens. Rory, we will have to book a ticket on the slow boat to, where are we going? I hear if World War III breaks out, New Zealand's not a bad place to be. So let's all go. We'll open up in New Zealand. I wonder if I could do the show about the New Zealand market. We'll have to see. Mark says, I have a feeling the market will continue to slowly erode another 20%. I think everybody has that feeling. And when I say that, and you guys know, I don't think we're going there, but when we're in this type of situation, it's very easy to feel like the market's gonna do that. And I think it's really, really easy to get yourself into that mindset, but I don't think it's gonna go there. Unless, and this is the unless thing. This is the whole thing about, the whole thing about black swan events. If this war continues and keeps getting worse, then there's no doubt we're going there. So, I'm hoping we can get a resolution. I'm hoping we can pull out of this. And here's the other thing, guys. If we can get a sooner resolution to this, it may prevent the mess that may be brewing between China and Taiwan. Because if this goes on and drags on and gets worse, no doubt about it, China will probably make a move on Taiwan. So that's kind of the other aspect too. If this can resolve sooner than later, Trump can move on to his next target. Bye-bye, Cuba. Well, we'll see what happens to Cuba. Now, there is another event happening, I think, tomorrow as well. So Russia has sent some oil to Cuba, and I think it's arriving. I think, it's either tomorrow or Tuesday. What's going to happen when the Russian ships hit that blockade? The U.S. isn't going to let them through. So that could create a little bit of interesting tension there as well. So that'll be, oh boy, the world is so crazy. The world is crazy, guys. What can I say? Brian, Trump has to send them into airports. TSA agents haven't been paid in 3 weeks. If they cause issues during March break, it's not good. Of course, ICE gets paid all the time. Yeah, I know a lot of TSA agents quit, and I wouldn't blame them. I mean, who works for free? Okay, I do, but well, I don't make a lot with YouTube, but it's one of those things. It's like, yeah, I mean, if you have a family, and if your income all of a sudden is gone and you can't feed your family, well, maybe you will quit and find something else. It is interesting. It is interesting. All right. Chad says there are 3 ICE offices throughout Canada. Is there really? All right. Lance. Oh, and hi, Chad. Welcome to the stream. Lance says, how far back did you draw your channel for BTC? I have it in a solid channel from earlier February. when it's been touching the highs and lows consistently, how far back do you go for swing trades? So for swing trades, my swing trades are fast trades, right? Like I'm looking to do a trade quite literally, within a couple of days. I don't like, I typically don't like a trade to go beyond a week. So for that reason, that's one of the reasons that, I'm just going to go back to the line here, just so I don't, it's one of the reasons, whoops, don't need that line, go away. It's one of the reasons that I don't use longer time frames. So I tend to look on the 1 hour. So from here, this is basically from Friday right now. So this here is Friday, and quite literally, we're heading into Monday. So this here is mostly through the weekend so far, hence the reason I don't have this one yet. So before this, I was sort of looking at this, and I normally will play these smaller time channels. But if I was looking to do longer ones, yeah, I would use a longer, longer hours. I'd probably switch to like the 4 hour. So on the 4 hour, let's just go there for a second here. Here's our 4 hour here. Oh, and you can see a lot of the different things that I've done here. Let's just collapse this up a little bit. So on the 4 hours, when you look at it, once again, I mean, I could still use that to trade. It just, it's just not as, I don't know, I get in a little bit more close and personal. But on the 4 hours, I can go back and I can see quite a bit. Oh boy. I'm just looking at this whole crash. I'm like, no, tell me it isn't true. And this isn't even the big crash. This is just from the 97,000 area. But yeah, when you look at it on a larger scale, so here, let's actually do that. Let's turn this in. So I think what you're doing is you're probably charting it in here a little bit, because you've got a little bit, well, it's hard to say, like this here, for this one here, so this is a big support rate in here. This one here at about 65,000. So, it's one of the reasons that I say I don't like it if it breaks below that. That's because that has been traditionally a support, and that goes back, if I sort of collapse things, we'll collapse it more. That might be as far as I could collapse it, but you can sort of see here, like this is that whole level of support that we had back in through that sector. And then we normally, when we come back down, we hit in that level, and that's where we are again right now. So we'll see how it goes. All right, Claudia. It says MacroHeart is a joint project between Elon Musk's AI company xAI and Tesla, announced in March 2026 as a purely AI software company. Yeah, like they're not even going to have offices. That's what I've heard. Like the person who was mentioning it was saying that they won't even have offices. They don't care about debt. They just, all they need is cash flow, and that's kind of the way that's moving forward. And I'm like, okay, all right, sounds interesting. And I think they even said they would be sort of, I'm trying to think how they worded it, that they would be financing, they'd be financing the company based on arrears from the previous month or something like that. So anyway, yeah, it was interesting. I was only half listening, guys. So all right, Rory says, could we see Div drop to 360? I have an order there. Ooh, let's take a look at Div. I love, so diversified royalty. Let's see here. There we go. Div, D-I-V. Here we go. Diversified Royalty Corp right here. Yeah, oh boy, look at that, 384. It's hard to say if they would go that low though, Rory. Oh boy, it depends. Like if this continues, so I mean, looking at this last year, like, they do have a support. Like they have support. I think there's support around 370. Like I think 370 maybe you could get, but it would need some serious escalation. I'm not saying that we won't get it. We probably could. But 360, oh boy. I mean, if it breaks, well, here's what I would say. If it breaks through 370, there's a chance it could go down to like 350. But it needs to break through 370. All right, Brian says, I'm off. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everyone. Have a good time, Brian. Hopefully, hopefully you got something fun planned tonight. All right. Holy cow, guys. It's time for coffee. That was good. That was definitely good. Excuse me. All right, later, Brian. Let's see. I'm in a taxi heading to the grocery store now, going to buy one of those roast chickens. They are real cheap down here. Okay. I like chicken. Chicken is one of Chicken's one of my favorites. One of my favorites for sure. I don't know if I'm having roast chicken tonight, but you never know. You never know. Gosh, I kind of would like to have roast chicken. Spring chickens. Yeah, spring chickens. Well, that's a saying. You know, a spring chicken is somebody who's new. Because that's when chickens, well, that's when they have the little baby chicks. All of that fun stuff. Like $8 Canadian. Oh, is that how much? Oh, yeah, that's right, because you're in Colombia. Holy banana bread. I do not know the price of a chicken roast. Because Jill buys all that stuff. I slave away on YouTube and all of that other stuff. A geese equals cobra chickens. A geese can be, oh boy, geese can be really, really, really aggressive, guys, for sure. Headless chickens at the open tomorrow. There might be some. There might be some running around. What can I say? I hope that the worry that I've brought to the show today, or the concern for what we could see tomorrow, I'm hoping we're all wrong. I'm hoping we're all wrong. So, for example, and let's see, I don't know if I can actually do it because it's not showing me the whole poll for some reason. Maybe if I refresh this. I'm going to refresh that page because I want to end the poll. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, bloodbath 44%, slightly red 30. We still have 11% who think. And here, let me. Oh, that's unpin the message. No, we want to I want to end the poll. There we go. All right, poll is now ended. All right, and I'm gonna get back over here really quickly. We'll get back over here so that you don't have to watch the I don't know the black hole. All right, Lance. Lance says, I was watching a video the other day where they were saying the markets might not hit bottom till June, July, when private credit hits reports Q2. Some private credit companies are making it hard for people to get their money. So yes, this has been another thing too. So, and this is kind of like, you know, these credit companies, a lot of them do the same thing as what banks do. So if you guys are familiar with the fractional reserve banking, so when you give the bank $100, they don't have to hold that $100. You know, when they're vaults for you, when you come back, they hold about 10%. So they would hold maybe $10, then they loan out the other 90 of that, and that gets put in. So basically, it inflates the money that's in the system because of fractional. So, you know, they do similar things with a lot of these private credits. Like, you know, they keep a little bit of money, but if everybody starts coming in and asking for their money at once, they just can't do it. They don't have it. So that creates issues, and that's kind of part of the run-on that we've been seeing in the States is as people get more and more worried about private credit, you know, people are starting to get getting a little antsy, and there's a lot of pressure on them. So, you know, I think, you know, I don't know whether the whole system will just collapse, private credit. It probably won't, but there might be at least a few companies that perhaps go under private credit wise, and we're even seeing a little bit of that in the state up here in Canada. Sorry, it's rolling over a little bit. Like we don't have the same issue, other than well, go easy. And gosh, you know what? We haven't looked at them this week. How low has Go Easy gotten to? What are they? What is it? GSY? Oh, they've actually a little bit of recovery on Friday. They were up what was it? 1.15%. But yeah, I'm going to go to the 6-month chart so you can sort of see. But nonetheless, I mean, they took a pretty big hit. But keep in mind, you know, there's other stuff going on with Go Easy as well. Zenial, do you think he will send out another tweet that it's a good time to buy like he did last year? Or could this be drawn out a lot longer? Well, I'll tell you right now, guys. if you're looking at Truth Social before the market opens, and if Donald Trump were to tweet, "Oh, it's a good time to buy," I would do it. I would buy. Last time he did that, it was before he announced something good. So, yeah, if he ever announced it's a good time to buy, I would take that. I would take that seriously. I would. Obviously, do your own due diligence on that. But I'm just saying that would be my interpretation. Lance, I was going to go to Colombia this year. My buddy just spent a month there. Okay, cool. I've never been to South America. The furthest south I've been has been, Florida. I was also in Alabama, but Florida's further south. Ian, every so often I want to say Conway Twitty. Ian says, Israel says a few more weeks of fighting at least. That's the headline. Did not click on the article. Yeah. What sectors look the best? Well, it depends on what you're looking for, Michael. But I would say right now, defense sectors are looking pretty good. Those are kind of the only ones that are going up. If you're looking for stuff that's moving up, then defense sectors for sure. Oil as well. And that's another area. If you're investing in energy stocks, but mind you, if we get a resolution, you're going to see that oil come right back down. So you're going to want to be paying attention if you get into oil for that very reason. And we've seen it. We've seen oil go up and come back down pretty fast. All right, Chad's saying $10 a chicken at Walmart. All right, yeah, I'd rather pay $8, but there we go. All right. Now, is that Lance? Chad, is that one of those ones that are like they've already cooked them for you and they barbecue sauce and everything, and the little heat thing at the front of the store? Because those are good. I like those. Lance says energy, utilities, and healthcare. I would think. Yeah, I think healthcare. Yeah, a little bit. Definitely energy, utilities, defense. I would put in there. Healthcare, perhaps. Yeah. Ian says, I will tell you guys the exact price of the chicken tomorrow, like a commodities report. There we go. Yeah, the Twitty report. You should almost make a graphic for it, Ian. Send me the graphic ahead of time, Ian. Make a graphic. Like seriously, if you make a graphic saying the Twitty report, I'll bring it up on the screen when you tell us about the chicken. It's up to you, though. It's up to you. But I will do it. I will put it up on the screen. I absolutely would, because I think that's funny. All right. Lance, what is happening with private credit is one block off the Jenna Tower. And when it goes, will cause the collapse or sharp dip before it corrects. They're saying this will be worse than 2008. Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't think it will be. Right now, it's not so much the banks and the mortgages. They're not so bad right now. It's just that private credit. So will private credit have the power to pull it down to actually pull us into a 2008? I don't think it will. I think they're wrong on that. Now maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't see it. I don't see it. Len says, we credit Trump when stocks go up or when he says something, but bash him when stocks go down. He doesn't want them to go down. So, I'm just saying, for him, that is something that's important to him, is that, if the stocks are doing well, he likes it. He sees it as a reflection of the economy, though technically you can have a good stock market and a crappy economy. And we have seen that. Well, we've seen that in the last year in Canada. Our economy is not super strong. It's been struggling, but the TSX has been absolutely on fire. Let's see, the industrial sector too, I think. Yeah, I like the industrial sector. Oh, look at this. Another $8, $7.99 at Costco in Vancouver. There we go. Let's see, that's $10 tax and yes, do you have to, I thought you didn't have to pay tax on food. I don't know, unless it's because they cook it for you, or are you paying tax on the cooking part of it? I don't know. That's kind of weird. Yeah. I wouldn't want to pay tax on that. That's for sure. Oops, meant to say Jenga. Yeah, I got it. I got it after the fact. At first, when I was read Jenna, I'm like, Jenna Tower. And I knew what you meant. So I probably should have changed it as I said it. But At first, I wasn't sure where you were going, and then I was pretty sure where you were going at that point. So what can I say? Holy banana bread. But, oh well. Oh gosh. Guys, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned it, but enough, but we do have a Discord. We have a Discord. I'll bring it up. Here it is. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was this here. If you guys ever were looking for some good videos that the community likes, over on the Discord, we have a self-promotion section, but it's usually people's promoting other YouTubers, and I'm totally okay with it. So there's stuff in here. Like here is, for example, here was me promoting somebody else, Better Call Paul. That was, the show I did with him. But yeah, you'll find a lot of different stuff here. JJ's always, dropping his stuff. But yeah, a lot of good stuff in here. Feel free to come in. Oh, here is this one I was mentioning earlier. This is the video, guys, where the two of them headed over to harvest. So if you want to check this one out, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Ian says roast chicken with potatoes, $8.53 Canadian. Nice. 151.90 gas locally. Oh, that seems high. I did have a comment. Somebody from New Brunswick was commenting earlier today that I think they said, I thought they said 169 or 170, maybe 171, I think. So I don't know. What about Pegs is going to pay a 26 dividend that is earning said had 34 million customers. Yeah, we've looked. We've looked at Pegs before. We can look again if you want. Let's just pull it up here. PAGS. Here we go. So this one here, it is. This one's based. Well, the company itself is based out of Peru. It's on the U.S. market, and a Peg Seguru Digital. So yeah, and here it is. Once again, they're financial technology solutions. So micro merchants, small companies. So if you think it's something like, I think the closest we would have in Canada might be Lightspeed, or no, not Lightspeed. Maybe actually Shopify would be a little bit closer. But yeah, they offer these things, these type of services to businesses online. So yeah, they've been doing pretty good. Although I'm pretty sure Shopify is available in Brazil anyway, but they have been doing good. And Michael is an avid fan of Pegs, and yeah, look at this. They had a nice little bump up. But for the most part, they've been fairly flat over the last, over the last 3 years. Let's go to the 1 year. Even the 1 year, it's still pretty flat. But nonetheless, maybe there's something there. I'm not sure. I'd love to see more movement to the upside, though, for sure. Maybe this is the kickoff, Michael. Maybe they're finally starting to make a move. Chad says $1.41 a liter just filled out today. South Hill Moose Jaw. Lance says, I know where I'm going soon. Bed. Holy banana bread. It's kind of early. Let's see. MFA announces a 36 cents dividend this past week and upgrade to $11 this past week. All right. We'll take a look. MFA. So Mayfair Acquisition. I don't think you're talking about that one. I think you're looking at MFA Financial right here. Yep. Yeah, you definitely love your U.S. stocks for sure, Michael. It's actually interesting. For the longest time, I thought Michael was American, but I'm pretty sure Michael's in Canada. All right, yeah, let's take a look. Oh yeah, I like well, there's a little bit of volatility here for sure, but yeah, down at 948, and you're thinking that they could get to 11, or well, I think 11 might be the upgraded target for them. But yeah, interesting. And of course, they're a specialty finance company, residential mortgage loans, mortgage-backed securities, all of that fun stuff. And yeah, that's actually not a bad dividend yield, 15.19%. That's interesting. That's a high number. Obviously, if you're holding that, hopefully you've got that in your RRSP, so you're not paying withholding tax on that. Let's see, day 6 of 8 working 12 hours in a row, 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. is tired. Holy cow. Yeah, and I guess if you're, working with cranes, I think you said it was an indoor crane, but nonetheless, you definitely want to make sure you're getting some sleep, for sure. 30 eggs, $4 Oh, that's not bad. That sounds really good, actually. Let's see. Moose Jaw, cheaper than Lloydminster. Strange. Private gas station. Oh, that'll do it. Navigil. I was reading that TELUS will be getting a new CEO from the banking sector and will likely cut the dividend. The current CEO can retire and save face. I could see that. I could see that. And you know what? I look at it this way. I mean, Bell cut their dividend. I thought it was a good move. I could see TELUS doing it. I don't know. It is. Yeah, it's. I'm trying to remember here. Let's actually take a look here for a second. I thought it was pretty high when it comes to the payout ratio on that. Actually, to see the payout ratio, we need to go over to Yahoo. All right. We'll pull up TELUS.to. Let's bring it in. All right, let's go over here to statistics. And, all right, let's get to their payout ratio. Yeah, look at this. 229.63%. So yeah, their dividend is too big. So right now we're at a situation that they are absolutely paying out more than is sustainable. So I could definitely see a dividend cut. I could see a cut for sure. I think it would be a good move for them. Mind you, if they do cut their dividend, there will be people who will sell. So, you can definitely see them falling a little bit. But then again, look, same kind of situation as what happened with Bell last year. All right, Rory, I see it looking at gas, buddy. I'm Enid, if you remember me. Regular gas in Surrey, BC is $213.90. Nice. I remember you, Enid. Absolutely. Yes, because I remember you had a conversation one day with your husband about finance at the kitchen table, and he was like, "What did Candace say?" Haha, see, I remember. Chad, TELUS needs to cut their dividend and focus on debt repayment and share buybacks. Yeah, I am okay. I agree 100% on that. South Hill Gas, Rory, 9th Street and Lillooet. Is that how you say that? Lillooet. Okay, cool. Regina Cabs, cheaper, and they're one on Winnipeg Street, cheap gas too. Yeah, see, yeah, I try to keep things in the old noggin for sure. This comment though, it made me think of something. It's funny, when I lived in Toronto, when I was going to move, I was going to go. I had to get all my stuff to the airport, and I looked into the pricing, and it was actually cheaper to rent a limousine to take me to the airport than to take a cab. So I couldn't believe it. So I got to ride a limo. I got to ride in a limo to the airport just because it was cheaper. But heck, I was absolutely okay with that. Yeah, there we go. All right, Rory, I still have 3/4 of a tank. I'm good for now. 9.41% divvy TELUS, I think. It's pretty big. Here, let me take a look on the if I go to the summary page, it should have it here. They used to have their things on the top. I always keep going to the top. Let's see. Yeah, so right now 9.28% is what they've got listed at. But that, of course, is the forward dividend. So it's based on the last 12%. But yeah, 167. So yeah, I could see. You know what? I say cut it in half. Just pull the Band-Aid off. Cut it right in half. That would certainly free up, because if you cut it more than half, oh boy, you're going to have a pretty big shakeout on your stocks. And even then, even at half, you're probably going to have a good sell-off. But yeah, I would say tear off the Band-Aid. Go half. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Rory, let's see, 131.90 at Kisby, Saskatchewan road trip. There we go. Yep. Yeah, that'd be fun. Other than the only problem with the Saskatchewan road trip is that the scenery pretty much is the same for a big chunk of it. But, well, it depends. There are places you can go in Saskatchewan where you've got stuff to look at. That's for sure. And grain towers are kind of fun, I guess. At least I know anytime I've crossed Saskatchewan, it's always been about the grain towers and counting bales of bay and, you know, those big round ones in the field. That's the way I've sort of approached it. For sure. All right. And I'm going to have some more coffee, guys. Okay, that was very good. Oh, I'm actually starting to slowly run low on coffee. So, oh well. Well, guys, we're not leaving yet, but if you do have your last minute questions, still get them on in. Get them on in. We can, you know, we normally go to about 2.5 hours, but, you know, if you guys get no questions, we can always leave early. I don't want to, but, you know, it's up to you guys. Rory says only 7 hours away or so. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a few of you in the prairies. You guys should have like an unofficial mountain finance meetup. That'd be kind of cool. Then do it during one of the shows, right? And then you could all, we could like live stream you guys into it. That'd be kind of cool. Lance says, I'm just waiting for futures to update. Yeah, I'm waiting to hear some information. Like, I don't even know. Let me take a look, see if we've got anything yet. No, we still got nothing coming through on oil. I think it doesn't start until about 6 o'clock, though. So I think they're still about 8 minutes away. Lance, when the Asian markets open, it will be a good indicator. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's something I like to do, guys. So I'll show you here. I usually just go through CNN. All right. CNN, and then I go in through, let's see, business. And now I'm looking for the markets. There we go, markets. Perfect. And let's see, there's after hours. There's the extreme fair thing, I guess, there as well. All right. And then I pull up down here, world markets. And this here will give you a general idea. So a lot of times you can see, like I like to look, you know, if I'm trying to figure out what the market's going to do before it opens, I will usually come over here and see what's happened, because I can, you know, by the time, you know, just before the morning when I'm getting ready, I can look at, you know, I can look at Australia, I can look at China, then I can look at Europe, Europe and the UK, all of that fun stuff. And that will it doesn't always tell me what it's gonna do, but if I see a red trend across, there's always a chance, especially when you've got geopolitical stuff going on, there's always a chance that that's going to continue into North America. So it's one piece of the puzzle. It's not always the only piece, though, but it is one piece. A Grizzly says, can you make suggestions to handle this war dip in stocks? Thought about XBM, WCN, or buying the dip in tech stocks, or VOO and SCHD. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of one of these interesting things. So if you want to be 100% safe, I love the fact you got VOO there. So that, of course, being, well, that's your S&P 500. Vanguard's a really good stock. So if you're looking at a good ETF for defense, I think that's a fantastic one. I do like SCHD. You know, the Schwab line is pretty darn good as well. But yeah, in a case like this, I would, you know, if you were looking to play defense, you could certainly look at things like VOO, you know, SCHD. If you're looking for a stock that's probably going to do good through this turmoil, probably some of the defense stocks will probably do good. Halliburton, Palantir. So those are things I would sort of consider. But honestly, the safest bet, if you're just wanting to stack it in something, so you know that you know is going to come back up, and you know is going to be fine. VOO, you can't go wrong with that, especially if you're looking for dividend growth, for sure. So I do like that quite a bit. Roy says, Candace, hang on for 8 minutes. You mean for 5 minutes? But yeah, I'll hold on. Don't worry. Like I said, just keep talking. If you guys keep talking, I keep on reading. That's the way it works. Let's see. Yes, Asian markets always a good precursor for North American markets. Australia raised interest rates. Did they? I did not see that, Chad. That's brand new news. But you know what? Let's go over to Google for a minute. I am very curious. We'll have to take a look. Australia interest rates. All right, let's just do that. All right, let's see. Yeah. So yeah, oh, they increased it by 25 basis points. Oh, look at that. Here we go. Here we go. And this is significant, and I'll tell you why this is significant. The Australian banking system is a lot like the Canadian banking system. So, this is kind of, this could be a canary in the coal mine when it comes to, and we even said that there were whispers. There's whispers in the air of a possible rate hike down the road. Now, the Bank of Canada, they said they don't, they said they want to wait and see what happens with this war as they're holding that rate steady. But I'll tell you, if that oil inflation gets really, really bad, and it's looking that way, you could see this happen to Canada. There could be, and I don't want to say it, I don't even want to say it, but there could be a rate hike coming up down the road. And, if you're, I'll just say this, if I was currently sitting on a mortgage that was coming up for renewal, and I'm thinking about, should I go, should I just grab something short-term in case the rate goes lower? I don't know. I would probably lock myself in at this point because I don't think we may not see we may not see lower rates than what we have right now for a while. So that's how I would look at it. That's how I would look at it. So I would be a little bit careful. But yeah, there we go. Australia. Holy banana bread. Lance says, I will be watching from the sunny Dominican as of Saturday. I heard that Iran was threatening tourist destinations. I'm not too worried, but it might affect travel to some places. Yeah. Your biggest problem, Lance, will be if you have a layover, in like the United States. And that's just TSA stuff. But, if it's a straight, if you've got a direct flight, you're probably fine. And I don't think they're going to attack, they might say tourist places, but here's the thing. They don't really have the range to be hitting places like the Dominican Republic. If anything, it's probably be European tourist areas. Like, I would say, if anything, I would say their maximum range is probably about 4,000 miles from Iran, to be realistic. Kelly said, traveling the prairies as a kid, we used to look for throw your trash into orbit trash cans. They look like little round white space things. Oh, cool. That sounds cool. No, I once, probably the craziest thing I've ever done in the prairies is, I was with some folks, we were driving through the prairies, and they all of a sudden pulled over. And they got out, and they're like, come on, come on. And I'm like, what? Let's walk over here into this field. I'm like, oh, okay. Then they're like, all right. And it was dark. It was night. And they're like, look up the sky. And I was like, all the stars. Now spin. I did it, and it was actually kind of cool. It was very cool. So, yeah, that's what I did. Roadside garbage cans. How much lower will the market go? Well, it depends on how good it is at the limba. No, I mean, it can go a lot lower. If we go into a bear market, traditionally a bear market is 20-25% lower than the all-time high, and that's we're far away from that still. Chad says SCHD would be less volatile. Yeah, I mean, I like both. Rory says Brent is rising, so 115. Oh boy, we're starting to get some data now. I don't think I'm going to be able to see. I do got WTI. I've got WTI now working. So it's up a little bit. It's up a little bit, up to 99. So I'm able to see that. It looks to me like WTI is going to break 100 here. So we're, or maybe not. Well, I think it will. I think it's going to break 100. And we'll pull WTI up here. Whoa, what's going on there? Oh, I'm on that 4 hour. Let's go back to my normal 1 hour. Here we go. And there we go. I'm just going to broaden this out so you guys can actually see it. Here we go. There we go. This is what we want. There we go. Perfect. So you can see it gapped up. So obviously it opened higher, but that's expected. We were kind of thinking that was going to happen. And then right now we're hanging around 99. So we'll see what happens. Oh boy. Michael, was Canada markets still up this past week or down? It was down. We had a pretty red week. Lance says direct flight. Prairie recalls seeing those Orbit trash cans. I would have loved to have seen an Orbit trash can. I wonder. Let's just see here. Orbit trash can. I'm going to put Canada in there as well. Oh, I think I see one in this picture. Let's go images. Oh, here they are. What? Did they have people in them? Probably not. It's just that picture has a person in it. I don't know why. But all right, these are the Orbit. Okay. I've never seen these before. Let's try to pull this picture up here and see if I can. Can I make this open image in a new tab? See if I can get this a little bigger. There we are. So there's your Orbit trash can right there. Chad, Canada does not need to raise the interest, but what do I know? Well, I don't think they need to, and I don't think they want to. But I'm just saying, now that we've seen it in a similar banking system, it's no longer a certainty that they won't do it down the road. And it also depends on how long this lasts. Now, I did mention before too that even if they resolve this, a lot of the damage to some of the infrastructure, we're not going to go back to full production right away. It's just it's impossible. There's going to have to be repairs made on a lot of stuff, and some stuff, there could be some facilities, depending on how badly they were damaged, that it could take years to get themselves back to full production. Also, you can't just sort of flip a switch and have the oil flowing again. There's a lot of facilities right now that because they can't get the oil out, they kind of have to stop. There's nowhere to put the oil. So, those are pumps that have to be, I don't know if you prime an oil pump, but, they have to build up the pressure and, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be, well, fun as in a sarcastic fun. Let's see. Yes, not sure if they went beyond Manitoba. Yeah, I've never seen them before, but gosh, I wish they had them in Nova Scotia. Let's see. Would you ever use margin to invest if the discounts got to the point where it was just too good to pass up? I don't. Well, I would say I would be tempted, but I probably would still say no, but I would be tempted. 112, it's up, down, oil will drop. I recall the Trans-Canada Highway had the odd one just west of the Manitoba-Saskatchewan border. Let's see, the rich made their money, time to sell off and deploy TEC in healthcare. Looks like a cyan pod. Yeah, kind of. Let's see, markets are now pricing in actual supply destruction as Iraq declared force majeure on all oil fields and drone strikes. Hit Kuwaiti refineries. I think you meant Iran, not Iraq. But yeah. I mean, yeah, it is. This is all slowly getting priced in, but because it's a moving beast, because we get escalations, and every time we think it's starting to cool down, it's fun. It's going to be a constant price in. Like, it's going to be pricing in and then changing, and it's going to be adjusting quite a bit. So, we can only price in so much. We'll probably have a baseline priced in, but then all of these little spikes that happen, that's where we're not going to have things priced in. Oh, now that we can leave the orbit now, but I had to say, oh yeah, look at this. Look at the drop. Oil has come right back down to 97. I like that because it would be nice to see oil. I would like to see oil stay down heading into tomorrow. And that way we can remove that one factor. If oil can stay down and not go crazy, we can remove that one factor and we'll see how this whole ultimatum thing is going to go. Because that will be that'll be a big thing. That'll be a big thing for sure. So what can I say? What can I say? Holy cow. All right, it's time for one more drink here. Okay, gosh, it's always so good. I'm almost out of coffee, guys. I'm almost out of coffee. All right. Okay, perfect. So yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Um, Interestingly enough, here I do not know what time. I don't think the actually here. Let's see. Where do I want to go? I don't think they're open yet in China. I don't think so, but uh, let's just take a look here. Hmm. Yeah, let's go to Asia Pacific. Yeah, I don't think they're open yet in China, but pretty soon, pretty soon. So we'll have to see. Um, yeah, I'll look. I might even take a gander at China before I go to bed tonight, just to see how things are looking over there. Um, all of that fun stuff. Samantha says lots of likes today. Oh, I did not even look. Well, like I said, once we hit 75, I was like, I'm not looking at them anymore. But I'll take a look now, just because. There we go. Let me refresh. Let me refresh the test box since you mentioned it. Ooh, 96. Nice. Now, normally I would say something right now, because we're so close, but I'm not gonna, because I said I wouldn't. Rory says copper just can't win. Oh God. Uh, why did you say that? Oh my gosh, you're right. Look at this. Copper down 2.35% right now. Gold is up. So gold right now is up 0.28. Silver up 0.44. Platinum's up, but not copper. And our one market that is open right now, the Russell is down a little bit. They're down about 1% right now. They gap down, but here's the thing: they are slowly climbing up. Because yeah, they ended they ended yesterday. They ended over here. So yeah, they gapped down, and they're slowly pulling themselves up. So let's hope the Russell can get back on. But the Russell right now, and yeah, the Russell is that one market, guys. That does well. It runs it runs hurdily. What can I say? So yeah, the Russell currently right now, definitely looking good. Looking okay. I'm okay with this right now. I like the fact that we got the green. Let's see what happens. All of that fun stuff. Grizzly says, I don't know how to invest in gold and silver. Um, there's many ways you can do it. So obviously one way is we'll start at the basic. There's physical gold. You can buy physical gold, physical silver. Now I don't know where you are, Grizzly, if you're in Canada or the United States. So obviously if you're in Canada, you can buy it through the Canadian Mint. You can buy it through Costco. US, you can buy it through Costco as well. They sell gold. I think they started selling silver as well, but I think what happens is when they come in, they sell it really, really fast. Oh, you're in Ontario. Okay, perfect. Very good, very good. All right. The only reason I thought maybe the US is because you were bringing up VOO instead of VFV. All right, so that's cool. You can also buy it directly from the Canadian Mint, and there's a whole bunch of places you can buy physical gold. All right, so that's stage one. Stage two is you can buy a gold ETF. So if you want basically straight up gold in an ETF, you would be looking at something that holds gold bullion. Because there's two different ways you can invest. You can invest in gold itself. So if they're holding gold bullion, that's one way. Or you can invest in gold miners. That's another option as well. And there's lots of ETFs. There's lots of different ones. BMO has one. And here's quite literally, if you go to, and here we'll pull up, and even if you just type in gold, just like that, the first thing you're going to get, you got gold mining, you've got London Gold. All right. But here's one right here. So this here is the CI gold bullion ETF. We'll go to this one. We don't look at CI as much, but they're another big ETF company in Canada. And if we let's pull up the 3-year, you can see it's doing the exact same thing. This is what gold is doing. So this one would give you a more direct, what we call it, correlation to gold. Whereas gold miners, yeah, they have a correlation, but there's other things that can impact them as well. So for example, if they have a gold mine in a country that all of a sudden starts to get unfriendly towards them, all of a sudden there can be issues there. And you can sometimes have some, you get the gold, you certainly still get that gold upswing, but you also get whatever other drama is around that company, which can impact the price as well. So those are a couple different ways. Now, if you want to make income, excuse me. Now, if you're looking to make income, then you're looking at something like this, GLCC. So this here is the Global X, and this is a gold producer, so they basically write covered calls on it. They're not very aggressive. They're not very aggressive. For that reason, you get quite a bit of growth. So you get quite a bit of growth, and it's not even a big dividend. Like quite literally, the yield is 7.4%. So, there's different ways that you can certainly approach it. Actually, BMO also has this gold spread ETF. Oh God, I always forget its ticker. It's a covered call spread. Let me just see here. ZWGD. Is that it? Yeah, here it is. And it's gold bullion. So this one uses a covered call spread. So basically, it's basically just it's a strategy where you're writing covered calls at a couple of different levels. Actually, I think one of them is puts in there. And you're using that to basically try to minimize how much of a loss that you can have of your upside. Now, when we look at this one, once again, it's pretty much the same story. And this is a brand new one as well. So there's lots of options out there for sure. All right. Chad says, yeah, sold my SSCO Friday. VOO was in the RRSP. Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's the best place for it because then, well, here's the thing. VOO, the dividends is not huge, but nonetheless, in your RRSP, you're getting 100% of those dividends. TD Bank can buy gold. There we go. Silver, platinum. Cheaper price if you are a member. You're not getting it from Wealthsimple. Coin shops can buy as well. Let's see. Wealthsimple can only take the physical in non-registered account. There you go. There you go. So yeah, I didn't know that. I haven't really bought gold with Wealthsimple at all. But what can I say? So holy banana bread, guys. We are getting there. We are getting there. And let's just head back over here quickly. I do want to see if WTI is still falling. Oh yeah, look at this. Look at this nice big candle. I'm liking this. I'm liking this. Rory says, I was referring to winning the coin. Oh, right. Yeah. That coin. You can still spin the coin, by the way. You just can't win it. What can I say? All right. Evid says, thanks to chat. Do you just buy and hold forever or sell at the peak? Well, it's up to you. It depends on what you're holding it for or what your goals are. See, the one downside, if you're holding physical gold, yeah, it's a lot harder to just sort of sell it at the peak because you got to keep in mind that most sellers will have a spread. So if you go into, like, let's say, for example, if your coin with its weight, I'm just going to say let's say it's worth $100,000. I'm just throwing that out there. Well, obviously, if you go into one of these gold stores, they're not going to give you $100,000 for it. They might give you $95,000, and then they make $5,000 right away. And there's different ways. There's different ways to do it. Now, of course, if you're doing an ETF, yeah, you could sell at the peak if you want. If we got a situation where the market goes way crazy and it's way oversold, I mean, or sort of overbought, you could certainly take your profits. You don't have to sell all of it. You could sell a bit if you want. So yeah, you could certainly do that. But it really boils down to what your goal is. If you're holding it for long term, then there's no need to even worry about it. Just set and forget for the most part with gold. Let's see. Yeah, see, Chad buys physical. Navi says, I've been buying gold over 30 years. I've been buying it from Silver Gold Bull since 2010. They are the ones that supply Costco, and sometimes you see a booth there. Okay, there we go. So there's another option as well. BNS used to charge a pretty large percentage. Oh, let's see. I have a dice-sized chunk of silver from the Northwest Territories. That's about it. I do not have any. I do not have any gold or silver at all. Let's see here. Whoops, I almost skipped. Let's see. BNS got out of the metal. TD Royal still do. All right. Grizzly says, okay, just learning. First year investing, and it's been a learning roller coaster. Yeah, it is. And there's a lot of, you know what, there's a lot of stuff. And here's the thing, Grizzly, and this is what I say, and this is what I love about these live streams, is, during the week, if you run into things that you want to, maybe things that you're like, okay, I think I need some clarification on this or this, write it down, bring it with you. Bring it with you to the live stream, and you can ask it. Or, if you really need help, you could always, if you join the channel membership, we have on Tuesday nights, we have what I call office hours. What's nice about the office hours is because there's fewer channel members than everybody else, it gives me a chance to go into more detail with whatever you have or whatever you want help with, or if you just want to chat. Like I think last week, we pretty much just chatted. There was no question. I think we mentioned finance once, but you're more than welcome to bring finance to those. And I do have an office hours. The first Tuesday of every month, I make the office hours available for everybody. Just because, I want everybody else to get a chance to come in. Those are really, I call them my chill stream. Like I don't have to prepare. I just come in and I chill. I don't even bring the energy. I just, I'm there to laze and do whatever you guys want me to do type thing. Red water. I have a tooth cap that fell out. Is it gold or silver? I'm just curious. Ian says, I'm back with the chicken and potatoes. Rory, update the portfolio and orders. Then it's chicken dinner, some GOT, so what, Game of Thrones, and maybe some Skyrim later with TD if you buy 10 ounce ore. Okay, cool. Very cool. Holy banana bread. All right. I wish I could. I wish Brent would go live because I'd like to know where Brent is. But oh well. We still got WTI for the moment. We'll see what happens. 10 ounce or more, you get a bit of a discount. Oh, okay. So buy it in bulk. There we go. But the other thing too with gold, Grizzly, is that when you buy physical, you do have to, you have to figure out what you're doing custodianship wise. So you can keep it at home. You could sit it on your desk. Not the safest place. I would recommend, especially if you're doing it as an investment, you plan to add more, you probably want like a safe, maybe a fireproof safe, maybe something bolted into the floor so somebody can't just steal your safe and walk off with it. The other thing I would say is if you're holding or investing in physical gold, I wouldn't tell anybody. Like, don't tell your neighbors, don't tell your family. Because, they may all seem like good people, and they probably are, but, there's always that off chance that you tell someone, and maybe they happen to just mention it to somebody else who's not a good person. You don't want to invite that type of thing. Now, you can also, there are places that will custodian it for you. Like I know, and this is probably not the best, but I do know the Royal Canadian Mint, they offer a custodian option. Now, I don't know if they'll, and this is here, I don't know this. I don't know if you can just come in with your own gold or if you have to buy it from them to use their custodianship, but there's a whole bunch of stuff. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you could certainly do. When you're looking at ETFs, of course, then you don't have to worry about custodianship. You don't have to worry about any of that. So that is the nice part. But, gold purists will tell you that, if there's that solar flare from the sun and it takes out all of the electricity and all of the electronic systems, you got nothing. Whereas if you got a chunk of gold, maybe you can barter, but I don't know. What are you going to do? It's like, oh, I want a loaf of bread. Let me chisel off a tiny slice of gold for you. So I don't know how that would work. Rory says iron pyrite. Got some of that. That's the fool's gold. I always looked. I always like every. There's always that kid. Like there was always that kid that had a big piece of fool's gold, and it's like, gosh, I'd like a big piece of fool's gold like that, but I never found any. I found tiny ones, but never any big ones. A is in the house with a hi, Candace. Hey, hey, you're coming in at the end, but hey, why not? It's always good. It's always good. That doesn't matter. Oh boy. Coming up on Tuesday, or if you're a channel member, channel members do get to watch videos one day early. The next video is going to be a deep dive on HHIS. I thought it was time to take a look at them again and see what's going on. Then, after that, guys, we are going to... somebody asked if I could do, like, with that video I released recently where we re-looked at Canny, HHIC, and ECHI, somebody's like, please do more like this. So I'm like, sure. So we're going to look at the Daymax videos. And I got a little something interesting in that one for you guys. So I'm doing something a little bit different with that one, but that'll be coming up on Friday, or for channel members, Thursday. Rory says the North Saskatchewan River has real gold. Nice. Very cool. And I imagine, like, I've never actually held real gold. Well, I mean, other than jewelry, I mean, I've touched real gold jewelry before, but, just an actual gold nugget. That would be kind of cool, I will admit. Chad says, I will gladly hold your gold, silver. Jordan is in the house with a happy Sunday, Candace. Hope you're well. Yeah, absolutely. How are you doing, Jordan? Let's see. They pan it around Edmonton. Oh. A says, is there still growth potential for Enbridge and Canadian Natural Resources? I think banks will continue to fall. Okay. Well, yeah, it's going to depend on what happens tomorrow. But CNQ, I like them. Now, obviously, when this war ends, or whatever we're calling it, the conflict, oil's going to come back down a little bit. It's probably not going to fall as much as people think because, like I said, there's a lot of damage to oil facilities, and that oil's not going to turn itself all back on, and it's not going to be back to where it was before this happened. So oil could remain a little higher. Now that's good for something like CNQ for sure. Enbridge is fine. They're a very good defensive stock. They are in the utility sector. Utilities are pretty strong. Even if we head into a recession, people still need their utility. So I think Enbridge will be fine. I mean, heck, I pay Enbridge. I pay Enbridge for sure. So what can I say? Jordan, I am well. Have an important city council meeting Tuesday, trying to get a councillor fired. Have a petition going. Okay. Guys, never cross Jordan. He'll get a petition. You might get fired. No. Well, hopefully, I don't know what the situation is, but if this guy deserves to get fired, I hope you're successful. Let's see. Trump is doing the attacks on oil facilities. Yeah, well, it's both. It's both. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. And according to, this is the interesting thing. Trump says it's more Israel attacking the oil than the U.S. But, who's to say? Who's to say? But yeah, Iran has then, of course, in retaliation, has attacked a lot of facilities around the Gulf. One of the big ones is the Qatar liquefied natural gas facility. And that one, oh boy, a lot of damage to that one. And that one, it cost them a crazy amount of money to get it set up. And it took about 5 years to get it all built too. So the damage that's done to it is pretty bad. And that's about, I think it's, oh my God, something. I think it was 20. Is it 20% of the region's liquefied natural gas goes through there? I can't remember the data anymore, but yeah, definitely not good. Let's see. BC is full of mayor who are not from the community. Okay. Let's see. He said some racist and misogynist remarks in public over the phone and on so. Yikes. Or misogynist. Misogynist. There we go. Yeah. Okay. And I kind of think I know where you're going with that, but yeah. If you're representing all the people, you certainly don't want to be doing stuff like that. There's no place for that. There's no place for that anymore. That's for sure. So yeah, I definitely hope you're successful, Jordan. Um, he needs to. Yeah, he should be held accountable. Let's see. What do you think of the HHLE Harvest Healthcare? It has always been like a falling knife for me. Any potential for healthcare to go up in the next few years? How will Iran affect them? So yeah, So you got HHL, and we actually looked at HHL earlier. HHLE is the enhanced version. So basically, you're throwing leverage on that to try to enhance those returns. Yeah, healthcare hasn't been the best. Healthcare has certainly not been the best. So that's, I don't want to say unfortunate, but yeah, I do see healthcare as being good over the long term. But will it be the next 1 to 2 years? Hard to say. Part of the reason is that I think there's going to be a huge demand placed on healthcare as those boomers keep getting older, because that's a huge, huge chunk of population that tend to be much more reliant on healthcare than any other of the generations. Well, the Gen X's are getting there too, so they're starting to. So that's kind of one of those things to keep in mind. So yeah, and right now you got to also keep in mind when you're looking at HHLE, because of the leverage, um, it's going to fall harder than healthcare will, but it will also rise harder too. So it works out in both directions. But here's the thing: if you are not liking it very much, I would look to see. I mean, if you get an exit point, and it sounds to me like maybe you're stuck in the red, um, that might be an interesting thing, an interesting way to get out for sure. Let's see, LNG futures didn't move. Okay, it's 20%. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking it was 20%. Oil is going down, and natural gas too. Yeah, like right now, I'm taking a look at WTI. Currently, it is in the red, 0.52 down to 96. I like that. That's a good sign for tomorrow. Hopefully, hopefully. Is it true other countries are going to switch to trading oil with yuan to allow Iran to let them go through? That I don't know. I don't know so much about that. So we'll have to see. I mean, right now, I think first of all, we need to see what happens tomorrow with Trump's threat. I believe he's bluffing, and I think Iran's gonna call him on it. And he's stuck in a corner, but I still don't think he'll do it. I don't think he's going to attack power stations. So we'll see. Grizzly says when Trump gets sick, healthcare will boom. There we go. Well, no, he just has his own people. I think for healthcare to start doing a little bit better in the States, you might need to get rid of RFK. Let's see. He's got to live forever. Nobody lives forever. TDS will never die. I heard that Iran wanted paid in yuan. Oh, interesting. Yeah, like I said, I haven't looked too much into that, so we'll have to see. Yeah, the BRICS. Exactly. What can I say? All right, guys, we made it to the 2.5 hour mark. Fantastic. Yeah, this is another great show. We had a lot of. Did we get to? I'm kind of curious. I said I wouldn't mention them anymore, but I just need to see. I won't even say it. I won't even say it. Okay, there we go. I will say it. We broke 100, so you guys absolutely rock. So yeah, we'll be back here again tomorrow. We are going to do it all over again. Well, not this. We're going to do the market close. But let's see. We'll see what color. What color is my sign going to be tomorrow? Is it going to be red, or could it be green? If it's green, then I'm wrong, because I thought that we'd have a pretty red day tomorrow. So let's see what happens. All right, guys, before I disappear, I do have a couple of things I wanted to say very quickly, and that is bye-bye.